After researching the last video, the case of Kevin Davis, I stumbled upon another one of a similar nature, one with a very peculiar motive. I remember hearing rumours about this case years ago, and perhaps most of you have heard of the headline, "Kid Murders Mum Over Call of Duty." This case takes place in Osage, Iowa. On the 24th of March 2012, a man named William Crooks was at a work-related party and was away from home that evening. At 7:30 PM, William received a rather strange text message from his son. His son had sent what appeared to be a joke message, which read, "Hey Dad, this is Noah. I killed Mum. I regret it. Come home now." William was convinced that his son was just joking around, so he replied, "Okay, just throw her in the grove. We'll take care of her later." Noah was at home with his mother that night, a 37-year-old woman named Gretchen Crooks. Noah was just 13. Gretchen worked as a nurse at Mercy Hospital in Mason City and was studying to get her master's degree at the University of Iowa. Only a few moments before William received the text messages from Noah, Noah had loaded his .22 caliber rifle upstairs. The rifle had been gifted to him by his mother when he was just 11 years old. Noah took the loaded rifle downstairs and saw his mother in the kitchen facing away from him, cooking some dinner. Noah raised the rifle and aimed at his mother. He then put his finger on the trigger and lowered the rifle. Noah would later say he could not shoot his mother at that moment in time, because in his words, it would not be honourable to shoot his mother in the back. He returned upstairs. That was until his mother called up to say his dinner was now ready. Noah returned downstairs with the rifle in his hands, and this time he found his mother sitting on the living room sofa studying for her coursework. Noah raised the rifle once more and fired 22 bullets into his mother, ending her life. It's just after this when he sent the message to his father. Noah then called the emergency services and told them what he had done. He admitted he had shot her with 22 rounds of his .22 caliber rifle. But then Noah admitted to something truly despicable. He admitted to the operator that he had tried to force himself upon his own mother's body after he had shot her. But he said he couldn't get himself to do it. Noah then ranted to the operator with deep concerns for his own future. He said, "I'm never going to be able to marry. I'm never going to be able to get a good job now. I'll barely even be able to get a job at McDonald's. I mean, I had plans to go to Michigan State University to get an engineering job. All that is down the drain now." He also rambled on about how his mother had taken away his Call of Duty disc because he was getting bad grades at school. The police were quickly dispatched to the location. They arrived and Noah opened the door. He told the deputy that his mother was in the living room and that the gun was in there too. Gretchen was found in the living room. She was slouched on the sofa and had multiple holes in her chest. Her pajama top had been unbuttoned and she was naked from the waist down. Noah was arrested and placed in the back of the police car. The deputy then made a call to William to let him know the devastating news. He told William he needed to come home immediately and that there had been a terrible accident. Upon arrival, William was told that Gretchen was dead and that Noah had shot her. When Noah was placed in the back of the police car, it was reported that he was not crying and seemed to be somewhat unfazed by what he had done. Noah had been on medication for ADD since he was 8 years old. He had had occasional outbursts at school. His father stated that during the 5th grade, he would pull out all of the hairs off his head, his eyebrows, his eyelashes, and he'd pull out the hair of his legs and arms too. Anywhere he had hair, he would pull it out. He said Noah became more violent in the years just before he committed the crime. He would break windows and used a knife to stab the wooden pillars, couch cushions, and the doors in the family home. He said that these violent outbursts came out of the blue. Prior to his arrest, Noah had no criminal history. He was involved in counseling with his family and was placed on the medication for his ADD. But there were some reports that came to the fore, claiming that he had made comments to his friends at school about killing his mother, and it was reported that he bullied other children from time to time. It was also noted that he was cruel to animals and may have even burned down his grandmother's home when he was just 6. William said that Gretchen was the parent who would dish out the punishment. This would sometimes lead to some altercations between Noah and Gretchen, but never anything too serious. He said that they'd have their issues, but then the next minute, they'd be playing games together. But he did go on to say that once, Noah told him that he wanted to kill his own mother, but William never took this seriously. And it so happened that Noah's grades were failing. His mother believed that this was because he was spending too much time playing video games such as Call of Duty. 3 hours before Noah shot his mother, she had taken the Call of Duty disc away, in hopes it would stop distracting Noah from the importance of his education. The jury trial began on the 30th of April 2013. Noah raised the defense of insanity and diminished responsibility. 3 school friends of Noah were brought in to testify. They stated that Noah would sometimes become aggressive and violent, occasionally stabbing classmates with pencils at school. They also claimed that Noah had threatened to kill other students and spoke about killing his own mother. Another friend stated that she and Noah became friends in the 7th grade. She remembered Noah talking about ending his life on several occasions. She said he got angry quicker. In PE, he'd get mad at things he wouldn't usually get mad about. On the 13th of May that year, the jury returned a verdict, finding him guilty of murder in the 2nd degree. The state requested that the juvenile court waive jurisdiction so that Noah could be sentenced as a youthful offender in an adult court. The juvenile court waived jurisdiction over Noah and transferred the case to the district court for Noah's prosecution as a youthful offender. The youthful offender provisions allow the court to wait until the child is 18 to track their progress to see whether the rehabilitation has been effective, before determining how to proceed or deciding any prison sentence. Noah was held in juvenile until he was 18. During a family meeting with his father and counsellors on the 14th of April 2016, Noah was asked why he killed his mother. He responded by saying, "I didn't think of the consequences. I didn't think anything would happen. I thought we would be better off without her, and I thought I would maybe get grounded." I found this response rather strange, as after he had killed his mother, he said to the operator that he was now worried about his future, so this response he gave in April seemed a little disingenuous. After Noah turned 18, he was summoned to the High Court on the 6th of May 2016. The High Court sentenced Noah to a term of 50 years. During the sentencing, they referenced a psychologist who examined Noah in 2012. This psychologist claimed he wasn't capable of experiencing guilt or remorse. The psychologist concluded that there was no treatment that could change his personality traits. Noah has also been ordered to pay $150,000 to his father. After the hearing, Noah's father William made a statement. He said, "In the past 4 years, you have never once spoken about your mother. You have shown no remorse. 4 years is not enough to pay for taking your mother's life. I'm sorry, I love you, Noah, but to let you out would ruin so many more lives." William has also stated that he believes Noah killed his mother so he could get her out of the way to continue gaming. not fully understanding the severity of his crime. Since being incarcerated, it is reported that Noah has only shown concern for that he has destroyed his own future, and has not given an appropriate explanation for what occurred that night. Noah has challenged the district court's handling of his case, claiming he shouldn't have been prosecuted under the state's youthful offender statutes, arguing the sentence amounts to cruel and unusual punishment. The psychologists who have analysed Noah's behaviour have stated that they are cautious about him. They are worried that he will become more skilled at saying the right things to cover up his personality traits, and that he will do this until he is no longer in a secure facility. What I always find frustrating about these cases is that more often than not, the victim tends to be a decent and good person, and Gretchen was no exception to this. As I said at the start, she worked as a nurse while also studying towards her master's degree at the University of Iowa. She had previously served among a team of doctors and nurses who travelled to provide medical relief to the Hurricane Katrina and Rita victims in the Gulf in 2005. She served as a critical care nurse, and she cared for patients in a makeshift hospital. The murder of Gretchen was the first reported homicide in that town since 1898.